The rain hammered against the window of our cramped UCLA dorm room like it was trying to drown out the silence. My heart dropped faster than the stack of textbooks I let slip from my arms. Jamie. My voice cracked against the void, stupid and hopeful. The room felt too big, too cold, without his chaos to balance my own. That's when I saw it. A plain white envelope on his desk, my name, Alex, in his looping script, the ink slightly smudged as if his hand had hesitated. I tore it open right there, the paper crinkling like thunder in my ears. The words hit me like a freight train. Alex, if you're reading this, I've already run. Not from you. From the lie I've been living every day beside you. I love you. Not as a friend. More. Always more. But I can't watch you pull away anymore. Forgive me for leaving like this. Or don't. Just know it was never your fault. The page blurred as my eyes stung, not from rain or tears, but from the gut-wrenching twist of something I hadn't seen coming. Jamie, my Jamie, the guy who'd shared my secrets, my midnight ramen, my everything, was in love with me. And he'd vanished because he thought I hated him for it. I crumpled the letter into my fist, the dorm's fluorescent lights buzzing overhead like accusations. How had I missed it? The lingering touches during movie nights, the way his laugh softened when I ranted about my folks back in Ohio, the quiet mornings when he'd brew coffee just how I liked it, 2 sugars, no cream. We'd been roommates for 2 years, inseparable since freshman orientation when we'd bonded over a mutual hatred for our psych prof's droning lectures. He was the spark to my steady flame, out and proud, with a circle of queer friends who lit up every party, while I played the straight-laced straight guy, burying my own confusions under layers of denial. But now the room echoed with ghosts. I sank onto his empty bed, the mattress still warm from whatever frantic packing he'd done hours ago. My phone buzzed in my pocket, texts from our group chat, probably wondering where he was. I couldn't face them. Not yet. Instead, I unfolded the letter again, tracing the words like they held a map to bring him back. There was more, scribbled at the bottom in a rush. Check the drawer. It's not much, but it's yours. Heart pounding, I yanked open the nightstand. Inside, a battered journal, its cover etched with our inside joke, surviving sophomore slump, and a photo booth strip from last spring's festival, our faces pressed close, mid-laugh, oblivious. Flipping through the journal was like cracking open his soul. Pages of sketches, me studying, fierce and focused. Us hiking in the Hollywood Hills, sweat-slicked and triumphant. Quiet confessions in margins. Today Alex smiled at me like I mattered. God, I wish I could tell him. My breath hitched. This wasn't just a crush. It was a chronicle of quiet devastation, entries dating back to move-in day. He'd fallen slow, like autumn leaves in Griffith Park, and I'd been too wrapped up in my own mess. My parents' endless pressure to man up and date that girl from high school, the whispers from my old buddies about real men, to notice the fracture lines. By dawn, the rain had eased to a drizzle, and exhaustion clawed at me. I hadn't slept, hadn't moved from that spot on his bed. The campus stirred outside, joggers pounding pavement, early birds grabbing breakfast burritos from the truck by Royce Hall. I forced myself up, splashing water on my face in the communal sink, avoiding my reflection's hollow eyes. The lecture hall was a blur of half-filled seats and droning theory. I slouched in the back, the letter burning a hole in my pocket. That's when Mia slid into the row beside me. Jamie's best friend since high school, all sharp bob haircut and sharper wit, the kind of lesbian icon who could dismantle a bigot with one arched eyebrow. She was out, loud, and unapologetic, the glue in our friend group. "Where's your shadow?" she asked, nudging me with her elbow. Her voice was light, but her eyes scanned my face like she already knew. I swallowed hard. Gone. Moved out last night. Left. This. I slid the letter across, my hand unsteady. She scanned it, her expression shifting from curiosity to storm clouds. "That idiot," she muttered, folding it back. "He thinks you're straight as an arrow, Alex. Thinks you've been dropping hints to back off. Remember that party 2 weeks ago? When your cousin showed up drunk and started that homophobic rant? Jamie overheard you laughing it off, thought it was aimed at him." My stomach twisted. That night, beer-fueled chaos in some off-campus house, bass thumping through the walls. My cousin from back home, fresh off a farm in Indiana, spewing garbage about the gays ruining everything. I'd chuckled, nervous deflection, steering the conversation to football. Jamie had been across the room, mid-conversation with a cute guy from the theater department, but his eyes had flicked my way, darkening. I'd chalked it up to the dim lights, the haze of smoke. God, what if that was the crack that broke him? I didn't mean, the word stuck. Mia's hand on my arm was steady, grounding. He's scared, Alex. His family's no picnic. Dad's a preacher in Sacramento. Mom's the enabler who pretends it's a phase. He came out at 16, got disowned for a hot minute. We've all got scars. She leaned in, voice dropping. But you? You're his safe harbor. Or were. Question is, what now? Class ended in a haze, and we spilled out into the quad, palm trees swaying under gray skies. Mia dragged me to the student union, force-feeding me a latte while plotting like a general. We find him. He's got that aunt in Silver Lake who lets him crash. Or he's holed up at the LGBTQ center. They have those quiet rooms for when the world's too much. I nodded, but inside, panic churned. What would I even say? Hey, sorry I accidentally broke your heart. Or worse, admit that reading his words had cracked something open in me too? I'd dated girls in high school, sure, stolen kisses at prom, awkward fumbles in the back of pickup trucks. But Jamie? He was different. He saw me, really saw me, in ways no one else bothered. Late nights dissecting dreams, him challenging my cynicism with that boundless hope. If love was a spectrum, maybe I'd been tiptoeing the edge all along, too terrified to step off. By afternoon, we'd scoured the center, no sign. Texts to mutuals bounced back unread. Mia's worry mirrored mine, a shared ache that bonded us deeper. As the sun dipped low, painting the hills gold, we ended up at our usual spot, a bench overlooking the Pacific from the bluffs, waves crashing like unresolved arguments below. He's running from pain, not you, she said finally, unwrapping a protein bar she didn't eat. But letters like that, they're cries for someone to chase. I stared at the horizon, the letters weighed in my pocket a talisman. Chase. The word ignited something fierce. For the first time, I let myself imagine it, not just finding him, but facing the truth. That maybe the straight guy from Ohio wasn't so straight. That love didn't need labels, just courage. That night, back in the hollow dorm, I packed a bag. Silver Lake was an hour's drive, traffic willing. Mia promised to cover for me, her hug fierce. Bring him home, Alex. Or at least tell him he is home. The freeway blurred under sodium lights, LA's sprawl a glittering maze. My mind raced ahead, rehearsing apologies, confessions, anything to bridge the gap. But as I pulled up to his aunt's craftsman bungalow, porch light flickering like a beacon, doubt crept in. What if he slammed the door? What if the letter was goodbye, not a plea? The knock echoed too loud. Footsteps, then the door cracked open. There he was, Jamie, disheveled in an old band tee, eyes red-rimmed but sparking with surprise. Alex? What the? I held up the letter, my voice raw. We need to talk. About this. About us. He froze, the air thick with unsaid storms. Then, slowly, he stepped aside. Come in. Before the neighbors start a show. The living room smelled of lavender incense and takeout Thai. His aunt's doing. She was out. Thank God. Some poetry reading downtown. We settled on mismatched armchairs, the space between us a chasm. He looked smaller here, away from campus lights, vulnerabilities etched in the shadows under his eyes. You shouldn't have come, he started, but his voice wavered. I left so you wouldn't have to deal. Deal with what? You loving me. The words tumbled out, blunt as a confession. His flinch was a knife twist. Jamie, that party, my cousin's an ass. I was diffusing, not agreeing. I never. God, I've been blind. To you. To me. He leaned forward, elbows on knees, hands clasped like prayer. It wasn't just that. It's everything. The looks from your family when they visit, the way you tense up around my friends. I get it. You're straight, Alex. I'm the complication. Better to cut clean. Straight. The word landed like a slap, echoing doubts I'd buried since puberty. Girls had been safe, expected. But Jamie? He was the question mark that kept me up, wondering why his hand on my shoulder lingered in dreams. I'm not. I don't know what I am. My admission hung there, fragile. But I know I can't lose you. Not like this. Silence stretched, broken only by distant traffic hum. Then he laughed, bitter and broken. You say that now, but what about tomorrow? When the novelty wears off, and it's just two guys navigating a world that still whispers freak behind closed doors. His words sliced deep, mirroring fears I'd never voiced. My dad, the factory foreman with his Bible quotes, Mom's hopeful emails about settling down. They'd love Jamie, as a friend, but as more? The thought of their disappointment curdled my gut. Yet here, in this borrowed living room, with his gaze holding mine, challenging, hopeful, something shifted. Then we fight it, I said, voice steadying. Together, no running. He searched my face, the letters echo between us. Slowly, a crack of his old smile broke through. You're serious. Dead serious. I reached across, our fingers brushing, electric, tentative. Not a kiss, not yet. Just connection, raw and real. We talked till the city lights dimmed to pre-dawn gray, unpacking years of almosts, the weight of unspoken desires. He admitted the journal's depths, how each entry was a love letter disguised as doodles. I shared my own fragments, the envy of his ease in his skin, the quiet terror of fitting nowhere. By morning, we'd forged a fragile truce. He'd come back, not to the dorm, not yet, but to us. A start. As I drove away, his silhouette in the rear view, hope flickered. But LA's underbelly had more twists waiting, and our story? It was just uncoiling. Weeks blurred into a tense limbo, Jamie crashing at his aunt's while I navigated the dorm's echoing solitude. Classes dragged, my focus splintered, sociology debates on queer theory now hit too close. Every slide on coming out narratives, a mirror to our mess. Mia became my lifeline, dragging me to queer alliance meetings under the guise of support, where rainbow flags fluttered like defiant banners in the student center. You're not crashing alone, she'd say, shoving flyers into my hands. Jamie's not the only one figuring shit out. Her candor was a balm, but the stares from the group, curious, appraising, made my skin crawl. Was this what he'd endured since day one? The invisible scrutiny, the assumption you owed your story to strangers? One evening, post-meeting, we hit a dive bar in West Hollywood. Neon signs buzzing happy hour, the air thick with laughter and synth pop. It was queer central, bodies moving fluid as the night, and for the first time, I let myself breathe it in. No masks. Jamie texted midway. Aunt's making paella. Wish you were here. Simple words, but they warmed me like contraband fire. Then chaos erupted. My phone lit up. Mom, video call. Her face pixelated but pinched with that Midwestern worry. Alex, honey, your cousin says you're hanging with the wrong crowd out there? Parties? We saw the news, another shooting at a club. Promise me you're safe. I stepped outside, the bar's thump muffled. Mom, it's fine. Just friends. But her eyes narrowed, that unspoken judgment, the same one that had Jamie fleeing. Friends like that boy? The one with the, you know. She trailed off, but the implication hung, the gay one. My blood boiled. He's more than that. And yeah, like that. Get used to it. The line went dead before she could respond, her stunned silence of victory and a wound. Back inside, Mia raised her glass. To family drama, may it fuel our fire. We clinked, but my buzz soured. How many bridges was I burning for a maybe? The next day brought the first real twist. I found Jamie at the Bluffs again, sketchpad in lap, charcoal smudging his fingers. He looked up, grinned tentative. Heard you went full rebel on Mom. Ballsy. We walked the path, ocean spray misting our faces. He opened up about his own ghosts. The preacher dad who'd burned his coming out letter. The mom who'd whispered, pray it away. I thought you were my escape, he said, voice soft against the waves. Then I realized I was trapping you. No traps. I stopped, facing him, the wind whipping our shirts. Just us. Figuring. His hand found mine, deliberate. We stood there, linked, the world narrowing to salt air and steady breaths. It wasn't fireworks, just quiet rightness. But as we turned back, my phone buzzed, a voicemail from an unknown number. Alex? It's Pastor Hale, Jamie's dad. We need to talk. About saving him. Ice flooded my veins. How had he gotten my number? Jamie paled when I played it. Shit. Aunt must have slipped. His fear was a mirror to mine, the old world's claws reaching across states. We drove to a quiet cafe in Echo Park, palms arching overhead like guardians. Over black coffee, he confessed the full weight. His family's intervention planned for winter break, a last-ditch cure disguised as holiday cheer. They're flying out. Think they can pray the gay away. Again. Rage simmered. You don't go alone. He shook his head, eyes fierce. It's not your fight. Bullshit. It is now. That night, we plotted in his aunt's guest room. Strategies, boundaries, escape hatches. Laughter crept in, absurd as naming his dad's sermons fire and faux pas. In the dim lamplight, vulnerabilities spilled, my fear of disappointing the family legacy, his terror of isolation. Our knees touched under the quilt, a silent promise. But dawn brought escalation. A package arrived at the dorm, anonymous, postmarked Sacramento. Inside, faded photos of teen Jamie, awkward and beaming at church picnics, overlaid with Bible verses on abomination. A note, he's lost. Help us bring him home. Or else. Threat veiled as concern. My hands shook as I showed Mia. This is crossing lines. Her jaw set. We go public. Not dramatic, smart. Record everything. Loop in campus security. The LGBTQ center became our war room. Advisors nodding gravely over legal pads. Hate mail's a pattern, one said, a trans professor with kind eyes. Document. And lean on community. Jamie arrived mid-meeting, takeout in hand, falafel wraps, his peace offering. Seeing him amid the rainbow stickers and support posters, resolve hardened. We were a unit now, fractures mending under pressure. Yet doubt lingered. Late that week, at a bonfire on the beach, friends gathered, guitars strumming folk tunes. Jamie pulled me aside. Firelight danced on his face, casting shadows that deepened his gaze. Alex, us, it's real. But if it's too much. I cupped his cheek, thumb tracing jawline. It's everything. Our lips met then, soft, exploratory, tasting of salt and esmores. Cheers erupted from the group, Mia whooping loudest. It was a seal, a step off the cliff. But as embers died, my phone lit again, Dad this time. Son, what's this I hear about you and that boy? Your mother's crying. Come home. Sort yourself out. The call ended in static, my world tilting. Home, once sanctuary, now battlefield. Jamie's arm around me was anchor, but the storm was gathering, prejudices crashing like waves. Winter break loomed like a guillotine, the campus emptying as students fled to airports and Amtraks. I drove Jamie to LAX, his duffel slung over shoulder, Aunt's car idling curbside. Text me from the gate, I said, hating the goodbye cling. He pulled me into a hug, fierce and fleeting. No interventions, I promise. But his eyes held storms, the weight of Sacramento's grip. Alone in the dorm's husk, silence amplified every creak. I buried into finals prep, but concentration frayed, mind replaying our beach kiss, the anonymous package's chill. Mom's emails trickled in, hurt, pleading, we love you, Alex. But this phase, it hurts the family. Phase, as if love was a flu to sweat out. New Year's Eve found me at Mia's off-campus apartment, a potluck of misfits, queer coders, activist poets, her girlfriend Lena with her infectious laugh. Balloons bobbed, champagne fizzed, but my phone stayed silent. Jamie had gone radio dark post-flight, a calculated blackout. Midnight struck, confetti raining as we toasted to messy beginnings. I stepped onto the fire escape for air, city sprawl twinkling below. That's when the call came. Jamie, voice hushed, frantic. Alex, they're here. Early. Dad's got the whole church elder squad. It's bad. My pulse thundered. Where are you? Guest room. Locked door. Mom's crying, saying I'm breaking her heart. A muffled shout echoed, his father's baritone, scripture-laced thunder. Get out. Now. I'll wire money for a bus. Head to your aunt's. I can't just. You can. You will. Urgency sharpened my words. For us. A pause, then resolve. Okay. Love you. The line died, and I bolted inside, rallying Mia. Emergency. Jamie's folks ambushed him. Chaos mobilized, Lena booking tickets, Mia packing a go-bag we'd courier. By 3 a.m., he was en route south, a red-eye flight we'd scraped funds for. Dawn brought relief. A selfie from the terminal, his smile weary but winning. Escaped the zealots. Heading home, our home. Our home. The words bloomed warm. I crashed hard, dreaming of open roads, free from chains. But freedom's price came swift. Back on campus, whispers slithered, my phase fodder for frat bros in the dining hall, sideways glances from profs who'd overheard. One afternoon, in the library stacks, a note slipped under my laptop. Faggot lover. Watch your back. Scrawled, anonymous, the hate mail's echo. Fear coiled, but anger overrode. I reported it, campus PD taking statements with practiced calm. Hate crimes are up, the officer said, a burly guy with a rainbow pin. You're not alone. Not alone. The mantra carried me to the next queer meetup, where Jamie and I reunited. Him tanned from Aunt's backyard barbecues, me hollow-cheeked from worry. We claimed a corner booth at a WeHo diner, burgers steaming, his foot hooked, round my ankle under the table. Missed this, he murmured, ketchup on his lip. Missed you. Honesty flowed easier now, barriers crumbling. He leaned in, voice low. Dad called again. Apology tour. Says he overreacted. Wants forgiveness. Thinks I'm confused because of you. The old script, repackaged. And you? He shrugged, eyes stormy. Tired of performing. But Mom. She's texting recipes. Baby steps. Baby steps. We mapped ours. Therapy sessions at the center, joint applications for off-campus housing. Spring semester kicked off with tentative normalcy, shared classes, study dates in the arboretum, where jacarandas rained purple petals. Then the twist hit like a curveball. During a guest lecture on intersectional feminism, the speaker, a renowned activist, Dr. Reyes, called for volunteers on a documentary project. Queer stories, untold. Your voices matter. Jamie nudged me. Do it. Your perspective, straight-passing ally turning insider? Goal. I hesitated, the camera's glare a spotlight on scars. But his encouragement tipped me. Auditions were raw, spilling family rifts, the letter's revelation, our fragile bond. Dr. Reyes pulled us aside after. You two have chemistry. Real. On camera? It'll resonate. Filming started small, interviews in sun-dappled quads, Jamie's sketches animating our narratives. Vulnerability bonded us deeper. Off-mic moments turned intimate, hands lingering, gazes holding secrets. But shadows lengthened. My parents announced a visit. Surprise reconciliation trip. Mom chirped over call. Dread knotted my gut. Jamie tensed beside me in the kitchenette, chopping veggies for stir-fry. Want me to vanish? Hell no. Defiance surged. They see us. As we are. The airport reunion was a minefield. Dad's stiff hug, Mom's teary smile masking strain. Over dinner at a family-style Italian joint, small talk skirted edges, classes, weather, pointedly not the situation. Then Dad cleared his throat, napkin twisting. Son, we've prayed. A lot. We love you. But this. Influence. It's not God's plan. Jamie, across from me, went still, fork midway. The table hummed with unspoken. It's not influence, I said, calm cracking. It's me. Us. Real as this. Mom's eyes welled. But Alex, marriage, kids. Those aren't off the table. Just. Different. Jamie's hand found mine under the table, squeezed steady. Dad's face reddened, but he swallowed retorts, glancing at Jamie, not with fire, but flicker of curiosity. You seem decent, for what it's worth. A crack in the armor. Not acceptance, but thaw. As they boarded their flight 2 days later, Mom hugged Jamie. Awkward, but there. Take care of him. In the terminal echo, relief washed. That was survivable, he said, brow arched. Barely. Laughter bubbled, hysteria tinged. Spring bloomed with momentum, the doc gaining buzz, screenings at local film fests. But high came the crash. A leaked clip online, our kiss from the beach, twisted in comments, fake for views, predatory gay agenda. Trolls swarmed, doxing threats pinging my inbox. Jamie spiraled first, deleting socials. I dragged you into this circus. You didn't. I pulled him close on our new couch. Off-campus lease signed. A shoebox apartment in Koreatown with leaky faucets, but ours. We're in it together. Therapy unpacked the debris, his abandonment wounds, my perfectionist chains. Progress was messy, arguments over boundaries, makeup walks in MacArthur Park, feeding ducks like kids. Summer beckoned, internships calling. Mine, Unpaid grunt work at a nonprofit, his graphic design gig downtown. Freedom tasted sweet. Road trip up the coast. Big Sur cliffs dropping to turquoise seas. Motels with creaky beds and stargazing roofs. One night, fog rolling in, we lay tangled in sheets, his head on my chest. Ever think about forever? He whispered. All the time. My fingers traced his spine. You? Scary. But yeah. The word hung. Proposal unspoken, but seed planted. Back in LA, heat wave baking sidewalks. Normalcy settled. Until the call, Dr. Reyes, voice electric. Sundance invite. Your segment's the heart. Elation exploded, Jamie whooping, spinning me till dizzy. But beneath, anxiety gnawed. Exposure on that scale? Our private war, public spectacle. Prep consumed us. Media training, outfit hunts in thrift stores. The night before departure, we burned sage in the apartment, his aunt's ritual for warding ill winds. To new beginnings, he toasted with cheap wine. Park City was a whirlwind. Snow-capped peaks, indie darlings in beanies, our film unspooling to hushed awe. Q&A brought tears, audience questions piercing. How do you overcome the hate? Jamie fielded, hand in mine. Love. Stubborn, stupid love. Post-screening party buzzed, but a familiar voice cut through. Pastor Hale, uninvited, suit crisp amid flannels. Son. To Jamie, then me. Heard you were here. Needed to see for myself. Time froze. Security hovered, but Jamie waved them off. 5 minutes. Then gone. In a quiet lounge corner, fire crackling, truths tumbled. Dad's apology was raw. I failed you. Scripture twisted into weapons. Seeing you now, strong, loved, it's humbling. Tears tracked his cheeks. Jamie's walls cracked. Why now? Lost my way. Your mother's pushing therapy. For us. A pause. Proud of you, boy. Hug was tentative, healing. As he left, snow swirling. Weight lifted. Not gone, but lighter. The film won an award. Audience choice. Hearts captured. Back home, glow lingered. But LA's pulse quickened with fall. Grad school apps. Job hunts. Whispers of rings. Fall semester hit like a heat-seeking missile. Senior year. Capstone projects looming. The apartment a war zone of textbooks and takeout boxes. Jamie thrived in his design classes. Posters for campus events plastered everywhere. His talent a quiet fire. Me? Law school dreams clashed with nonprofit realities. Applications a gauntlet of essays on why justice. Our rhythm steadied. Mornings with his playlists. Hosier crooning low. Coffee brewing as we prepped for commutes. Evenings unwound on the fire escape. City hum below. Sharing dreams over street tacos. Intimacy deepened. Not in grand gestures, but the small. Him sketching my profile mid-rant. Me surprising him with vinyls from Amoeba. Yet crack spiderwebbed. A group project paired me with Tyler, frat legacy, all bro shakes and backslaps, the kind who'd eyed Jamie at parties with smirks. Heard your roomies with the fairy. He joked during brainstorming, beer breath hot. Hope he's housebroken. Laughter from the group, obligatory. Mine died in throat. Cut it, I snapped voice ice. Meeting ended abrupt, Tyler's glare lingering. Word spread, whispers in halls, Tyler's crew circling like sharks. One night, post-bar run with Mia, they cornered us outside. For shadows, slurs slinging. Defending your boyfriend, pretty boy? Fists clenched, adrenaline surged. Jamie yanked me back. Walk away. But Tyler lunged, punch glancing my jaw, copper taste blooming. Chaos erupted. Mia dialing 911, Jamie tackling, a whirlwind of shouts and shoves. Sirens wailed, blue lights fracturing night. ER wait was eternal. Stitches for Jamie's split lip, ice for my swelling. Cops took statements, faces grim. Hate-motivated assault. Press charges. We did. The aftermath avalanche. Media sniff. Our film's buzz drawing reporters. Headlines twisting college sweethearts targeted. Support flooded, center vigils, donors for legal funds. But sleep evaded, nightmares replaying blows. Jamie withdrew, sketching turning dark, thorns, shattered glass. I can't keep endangering you, he'd murmur, staring at walls. You're not. I'd pull him close, heartbeat sinking. This city's poison sometimes. But we're the antidote. Therapy doubled down. Joint sessions unpacking trauma. Resilience blooming from rubble. Mia's crew rallied, self-defense classes in a sweaty gym, laughter amid punches. Charges stuck, Tyler expelled, accomplices suspended. Victory tasted ash, the wound lingered. But it forged steel. We volunteered at the center, mentoring freshmen navigating their own storms. Thanksgiving approached, a fork in the road. Jamie's invite. Aunt's table, extended family rainbow bright. Mine, Ohio, parents' tentative thaw demanding proof. Bring him, Mom urged over call. Show us. Hesitation gripped. You sure? Her pause, then soft. We owe him. And you. The flight east was turbulence-tossed, mirroring guts. Columbus Airport. Dad waiting, sign in hand. Welcome, boys. Hug was bearish, awkward warmth. Home was unchanged. White pickets, Mom's apple pie steaming. Dinner unfolded cautious. Small talk on harvests, then delving. Dad shared his own youth. Hidden crushes on farmhands, buried under duty. Feared hell more than truth, he admitted, voice gruff. Mom teared up, squeezing Jamie's hand. Your family now? Mess and all. Post-feast walks in crisp air, Jamie and I lagged, fingers laced. It's surreal. Good surreal. Kiss stolen under street lamp, snow flurrying first of season. Back west, holidays glowed. Tree in our apartment, lights tangled, his aunt's tamales shared with neighbors. New Year's brought reflection, resolutions scrawled on paper, burned in sync, braver, bolder, together. Spring semesters surged, internships ramping, our docs streaming on platforms, fan mail trickling, letters from kids echoing our doubts. You gave me words, one read. Impact rippled, purpose anchoring. But twist lurked in mundane. A job offer for me. Full-time at the nonprofit, DC-based. Stability, but cross-country. Jamie's eyes shadowed over dinner. Long distance. Possible, but gut-wrenched. Or I turn it down. No. Firm. Chase dreams. Will adapt. Nights blurred into debates. Pros-cons lists. Tear-streaked pillows. His design firm eyed expansions, but roots ran deep in LA's creative vein. Sacrifice loomed. Who bends? Climax brewed at graduation. Caps airborne. Gowns swirling in Powell Library's shadow. Speeches droned. But our milestone. Rings exchanged in private, post-ceremony, under jacaranda blooms. Simple bands. Engraved, always more. Letters echo. Party raged. Friends toasting. Mia emceeing roasts. But midway, Jamie vanished. Panic spiked. Searching throngs, heart hammering. Found him on a balcony, overlooking chaos, face ashen. Call from Dad. Mom's sick. Cancer. Stage 3. World tilted. Hugs turned to plans. Flights booked. My DC start deferred. Sacramento drive was silent agony. Hospital sterile and stark. Mom Hale lay frail, but smile brightened at us. My boys. Weekend clasped ours. Proud. Vigils stretched days. Chemo consults. Family huddles where old wounds scarred over. Jamie's vigil was fierce, sketches for her bedside, stories to distract. I held space, fetching coffees, whispering reassurances. Nights in motel, he'd break, sobs muffled in my shirt. Losing her now? After everything. Won't lose. Fight's hers. But fear shadowed, mortality's bite sharp. Months compressed, treatments grueling, remissions teasing. We shuttled coasts. My temp gig virtual, his freelance flexible. Bond tempered in fire, love's depth plumbed. Summer solstice. Good news scan, tumors shrinking. Celebration quiet. Picnic in her yard, laughter tentative. To warriors, Jamie toasted, eyes shining. DC beckoned renewed, but compromise struck. Hybrid role, months split. Airport goodbye was ache sweet. See you in 6 weeks. Count days. Kiss lingering, promise sealed. East Coast autumn painted DC in fire. Leaves crunching underfoot, Potomac shimmering gold. My sublet was a shoebox in DuPont Circle, rainbow crosswalks a daily reminder. Work absorbed, policy briefs on equality acts, late nights drafting amicus for landmark cases. Exhaustion hit, but purpose pulsed. Every memo a brick in the wall against hate. Weekend calls with Jamie anchored. Video feeds of LA sunsets. his latest mural unveilings. "Miss your chaos," he'd say, panning to our empty apartment. "Miss your cooking. Ramen's killing me." Laughter bridged miles, but longing gnawed. Empty bed, phantom touches. First visit. Him flying in, Reagan National bustle yielding to hugs fierce. Metro to the mall, monuments stark against dusk. We wandered, hands swinging, tourists oblivious. Dinner at a queer-owned bistro, candlelit, crab cakes divine, talk turned future, grad schools, adoptions whispered. "You're it for me," he said, dessert fork paused. "The letter? Best risk." Heart swelled. "Ditto." But re-entry Jared. Back west, his firm landed a big client. Corporate rebrand for a tech giant. Deadlines tyrannical. My DC push intensified. A promotion dangling. Strain showed. Missed calls. Curt texts when fatigue frayed. Mia mediated over group hangs. Communication, idiots. Don't let distance win. Winter holidays split. Me Ohio for Christmas, him Sacramento for mom's post-chemo milestone. FaceTime toasts across time zones, but isolation bit. Family cheer hollow without him. New Year flipped the script. A package arrived DC. Jamie's handwriting, bulky. Inside, sketchbook, pages chronicling our year. DC cherry blossoms imagined, motel vigils rendered tender. Tucked, a keychain, our initials intertwined. Note, build bridges, not walls. Propose soon. Tears pricked. Call immediate. Yes. God, yes. Proposal plotted meticulous. Spring break. Griffith Observatory. Stars above, city below, where we'd first confessed. Flights aligned. Rings resized from graduation set. But fate jabbed. En route LA, layover drama. Storm grounding planes. Stranding me Chicago O'Hare. Midnight eternal. Texts frantic. Stuck. Love you. Wait. His reply. Heart emojis, but delay brewed storm. Finally wheels down. Dawn breaking. Observatory gates yawning. He waited at the planetarium steps. Thermos steaming. Grin weary. Worth the airport hell. Every second. Tourists milled, but we claimed a quiet overlook. City sprawl awakening. Nerves danced as I knelt. Ring glinting. Jamie Hale, from letters to lifetimes. You're my plot twist, my anchor. Marry me. Tears tracked his cheeks, nod fervent. Thought you'd never ask. Ring slid perfect, kiss sealing under California's sun. News rippled. Mia's squeal call, parents' teary approvals, dad's bout time. Mom hails my son-in-law. Planning frenzy, venue hunts, guest lists blending worlds. Summer wedding loomed, but career crosswinds howled. My firm offered permanent DC with relocation perks. Jamie's countered. LA expansion, equity stake. Talks turned tense. Ultimatums veiled, silences stretching. Choose us over ambition, he accused one call, voice raw. Building for us, I countered. Future family, stability. Stalemate. Mia's intervention, neutral ground. Big Sur cabin rented, ocean therapy. Drive up was loaded, radio low, words sparse. Cabin perched cliffs, waves symphony below. Evenings by fire pit, truths unearthed. His fear of abandonment echoing dad's disown, my dread of regret mirroring folks' expectations. We hybrid forever? He ventured, stars wheeling. Or root together. Epiphany struck, freelance pivot for me, policy consulting remote, base LA. His nod sealed it, compromise, not concession. Fall brought balance. DC trips quarterly, apartment upgrades, guest room for visits, garden plot for mom's herbs. Wedding prep infused joy. Invitations hand-stamped, vows drafted in margins. But shadow fell, Tyler's trial. Subpoena pulled us back, witness stand, courtroom sterile. His face, once cocky, now gaunt, eyes avoiding. Testimony raw, slurs recounted, blows relived. Verdict. Guilty, sentence community service, plus restitution. Justice partial, but closure clicked. Post-trial beers with Mia, survive the gauntlet. Round 2 vows. Laughter cathartic. Spring wedding day dawned perfect. Elysian Park, under ancient oaks, wildflowers nodding. Aunts in rainbow shawls, parents beaming. Hale's post-remission glow, Mia officiating with wit sharp. Vows exchanged, rings renewed. In twists and turns, I choose you. Kiss, Drew cheers, confetti biodegradable swirling. Honeymoon, road trip southwest, canyons carving earth like our paths. Nights intense, stars intimate, days hiking red rocks. This is forever, he whispered, Zion's monolith sentinel. Back to life. Merged careers, consulting firm co-launched, queer advocacy hybrid. Mom hails scans clean, family dinners blending recipes. 1-year mark, letter anniversary. We reread by candlelight, laughter at youthful scrawls. From runaway to this, he marveled. To more. Toast raised, love's arc bending toward light. Yet stories twist eternal. A call from Dr. Reyes, sequel doc pitch, global tour. Adventure beckoned, hand in hand. Years folded like origami, subtle shifts, profound anchors. Our Koreatown nest evolved. Balcony garden thriving with tomatoes and basil. Guest room hosting Mia's visits. Her and Lena's adoption tales endless. Work synced. Consulting gigs jetting us to conferences, panels on resilience drawing crowds. Jamie's murals dotted LA, one at the center, our story abstracted in blues and golds. Parent dynamics mended mosaic. Ohio summers with folks, now including the boys' kayaking trips on the Scioto. Hale's holidays inclusive, Dad's sermons softening to love's radical call. Mom hails cancer a scar, not chain, her garden club a quiet rebellion. But mid-30s brought forks, fertility whispers. Kids? Surrogacy talks over wine, dreams of tiny chaos. 2, he said, eyes sparkling. 1 yours, 1 mine fair. Process labyrinth. Agencies, ethics debates, costs staggering. First match fizzled, surrogate's change of heart, grief acute. Not meant. Jamie doubted, sketching cribs abandoned. Timing. I countered, pulling him to the observatory, our talisman. Stars reminded, patience yields. Second round bloomed. Elena, artist mom-to-be, shared values aligning. Pregnancy announcements tearful, ultrasounds grainy miracles. Nursery painted neutral, bookshelves stocked with tales of diverse heroes. Birthday, Cedars Sinai chaos, Jamie pacing, me coaching breaths. Riley arrived screaming, 10 fingers, tuft of dark hair. Ours, he breathed, cradling, tears free. Parenthood rewired, sleep charts, diaper dashes, midnight feeds bonding deeper. Mia Annie supreme, spoiling with onesies emblazoned, future activist. Work flexed, daddy's leave overlapping, park picnics under palms. But equilibrium quaked. A client crisis, major corp backpedaling DI commitments post-scandal, our contract axed. Finances pinched, resentment simmered. Pushed too hard. I vented, bills stacking. Or not hard enough. He fired back, Riley gurgling oblivious. Cool-off hike in Runyon. Trail steep, truth steeper. We're team, he said, pausing vista. Pivot together. Rebound swift. Indie grants, podcast launch, twists untold. Our stories amplified. Buzz rebuilt, stability restored. Riley's toddlerhood tumbled joyful. First steps wobbly toward us. Words mangled dada blue for skies. Pre-K hunts navigated biases. Queer-friendly co-ops. Curricula inclusive. Twist reared. School invite for career day. I prep policy slides. Jamie art demo. But principal's email. Toned down personal elements. Parents sensitive. Outrage boiled. Erase us for comfort? Confrontation civil but firm. Our lives model authenticity. Backlash murmured, but allies rallied. PDA petition, diverse voices prevailing. Triumph small, but seismic, Riley's world affirmed. Mid-40s. Empty nest loomed distant, but adventures filled. Family sabbatical in Portland. Rain-soaked queer festivals. Second child talks revived. IVF trials, another match. Luna joined 2 years post-Riley. Fierce cry, Jamie's eyes. Duo dynamic. Sibling squabbles, bedtime sagas co-authored. Legacy beckoned. Centerboard seats, mentorships. Our doc remastered. Streaming staple. Inspiring a generation. Anniversary 20. Letters echo. Vow renewal intimate. Beach at dusk. Waves witness. Still surprising me, he said, sand gritting toes. Endlessly. Dance slow, fireflies winking. Final twist. Dad hails decline. Alzheimer's creeping, memories fraying. Caregiving relay. Sacramento shifts. Stories retold to anchor him. Love you, son. He'd murmur, recognition flickering. Passing gentle. Hospice bed, family haloed. Eulogy Jamie's. He found grace late, but fierce. Healing collective, faith reframed. Post-loss, we leaned. Therapy refreshed, adventures renewed. Europe backpack, Riley's gap year tales. 60s dawned reflective. Grandkids? Riley's coming out, non-binary, partner gentle, our pride beaming. Luna's activism, echoes amplified. Retirement porch, LA Hills view, sketches and briefs archived. Wrote our story, he asked, hand in mine. Living it. Sunset gilding, love's plot eternal, twists tamed, but spirit unbound.